Hellman community. Miss Greg here. Tonight for Hellman Storytime, we're reading this great book that Miss Wachiki picked out for me called Larry Gets Lost in Portland. It's illustrated by John Skews and it's written by Michael Mullen and John Skews. And this is an awesome story. One, it's about a dog, which I love. And two, it actually happens in the wonderful city of Portland, Oregon. So some of you might see a lot of things that you recognize if you've been able to go up to Portland and explore that awesome city. This is Larry. This is Pete. They like to ride together in the back seat. Portland. A new city means new adventures in store. As they drove across one bridge, they saw several more. How many bridges are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a lot of bridges. The Rose Garden Arena, home of the Portland Trailblazers, and the Willamette River, a major tributary to the Columbia River. The Willamette forms the Willamette Valley, where most people in Oregon live. We live in the Willamette Valley here in Salem. The family decided they'd first stop to eat. They found tiny restaurants lined up on one street. Even though Pete told Larry to stay, Larry smelled a treat and it lured him away. He filled his dog tummy, then was suddenly concerned. What do you think happened? Because Pete was gone when he returned. It was time to get moving to search and explore, but each place looked stranger than the one before. Voodoo Donuts. 24-hour Church of Elvis, Chinatown, Burnside Bridge, Portland, Oregon, Old Town. Have any of you ever seen that sign in Portland? Along the waterfront, Larry saw people riding bikes and running for exercise, which Larry likes. He thought he'd find Pete in an exciting museum. He even looked underwater, but still didn't see him. Oregon Museum of Science and Industry. That's OMSI. OMSI is a science museum for all ages, built in an old building donated by Portland General Electric. It has an IMAX movie theater, a planetarium, and a real submarine, the USS Blueback. Larry stopped on a bridge as it rose way up high. He had a strange feeling Pete might be close by. The Hawthorne Bridge. Because so many ships use the Willamette River, most of Portland's bridges have to open to let ships through. The Hawthorne Bridge has a section that rises in the middle, known as a vertical lift. Built in 1910, it is the oldest working vertical bridge in the United States. You see how this part lifts up so that the ships can get under? A great giant lady reached down from her roof, but she had no answer to Larry's question. Woof! He found 2 streets with a park in the middle, but Pete's location remained a curious riddle. Portlandia is a nearly 35-foot tall copper sculpture by Raymond Caskey. Built in 1985, it is the second largest hollow copper sculpture in the United States after the Statue of Liberty. That's pretty awesome. In one place, strange sculptures stood short and tall. In another place, a fish was stuck right through a wall. South Park Seafood Grill and Portland Art Museum. He passed a stadium and a big smiling face. Pete loved sports. Could he be in this place? Portland Streetcar. the Geldwin Field, an outdoor stadium home to the Portland Timbers Soccer Club and the Portland State University Vikings football team. He jumped on a train that moved without sound and rode into a tunnel deep underground, the light rail. Larry then rode on an elevator and jumped out its doors. He saw animals who walked just like him on all fours. He asked them for help. He missed Pete a lot. Most were quite friendly, but some were not. Monkey. Packy the elephant, born at the zoo in 1962. Packy gets a birthday party every year. He's at the Oregon Zoo. There's the tiger. He rode a small train to a colorful place. He'd never seen so many flowers all in one place. Even though he had much more searching to do, he couldn't help stopping and smelling a few. The International Rose Test Garden, the Rose Garden, has around 10,000 rose plants and more than 500 varieties. Blooming from April through October, the roses peak in June, depending on the weather. This is one of the reasons Portland is known as the City of Roses. Back on the trail, down a hill, Larry sped while Pete was traveling high overhead. He ran into a store that was enormous in size, and what they were selling was quite a surprise. Pal's Books. Have you ever been to Pal's? It's pretty awesome. Portland Aerial Tram. Part of Portland's public transportation network, the tram rises 500 feet to take people to and from Oregon Health and Science University on top of Markham Hill. Shelf after shelf was filled with every kind of book, but no Pete, no matter where Larry chose to look. Pal's City of Books, believed to be the largest independent new and used bookstore in the world, it fills a whole city block. Outside, something made Larry stop. It was a great big mom with her kid up on top. He tried to drink from a fountain, but after several tries, he soon found another that was just his size. North Park Block, so the Benson Bubbler, donated to the city by Simon Benson in the early 1900s, these drinking fountains are all over the city of Portland. And the Portland Dog Bowl. Even though it looks like a dog bowl, it's actually a fountain for dogs by artist William Wegman. The elephants really had nothing to say, so Larry walked on right into a bike rider's way. The rider stopped quickly and nearly fell down. Larry felt bad, but the guy just looked around. Then he checked Larry's collar and took out his phone. Could it be that Larry was done being alone? Sure enough, at a building where trains come and go, he saw Pete and he jumped up and licked him hello. Union Station, built in 1896. Union Station is still a working Amtrak station and is on the National Register of Historic Places. There's the guy on the bike and Pete's mom and dad, and they helped Larry find Pete. Soon, Pete and Larry fell asleep in the car. It was one of their most exhausting days so far. The end. That was fun, and it rhymed. I love books that rhyme. It makes it extra fun to read them. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next week for Home and Story Time. Bye!